this summer concert in Bucharest, the aim was to have a good time, of course, but also to rock the vote in municipal elections. George Florinica is a 19-year-old student studying tourism at the American-Romanian University. He came to the concert to support an independent politician running for mayor of Bucharest. George and his friends are seen as the new generation of politically active Romanians. Here at an internet cafe, they meet the independent politician Sorin Oprescu. He's a doctor who's since become mayor of Bucharest. It's a chance for them to ask questions. George wants to see a stronger fight against corruption.
First of all, I'd like them, the politicians, not to steal. You can't do anything in the country or in the capital when people steal. Generally, the candidates, when they're elected mayor or to other jobs, they start to steal, and a lot of the funds that could be used for other purposes finish in their pockets.
When they want to vote, George and his friend Christia Bogdan arrived early. They wanted to give a good example before the next parliamentary elections in November. In other words, show they were a generation who believes voting counts.
A vote makes the difference. We had the opportunity to see cities from Europe and other countries. We made an image of how we should look a capital or a city in general speaking.
And using that vote or being politically active seems to be more important for young Eastern Europeans than their counterparts when it comes to election time, according to a recent report published by the Council of Europe and the European Commission. The research was carried out by studying young people aged 14 in 23 different European countries in order to know Europe's future citizens better, especially with the next European parliamentary elections scheduled for next June.
It was a very good surprise for us to see that the young people from these countries were so enthusiastic. And what you can see is, in fact, in contrast to the adult population, where the adult population actually in Eastern European countries participate much less than the younger age group. And well, what we can see perhaps is some kind of generational change.
So why are young Romanians so interested in politics? To find out the new face of Europe, we went to George Lazar National College in Bucharest, and we met a class of 13 to 14-year-olds. Here, teacher Ionela Nagoe is leading a discussion with her class on Europe, the next European elections, and the concept of citizenship. Romania joined the European Union at the start of 2007, and some of the young people are still sceptical towards Europe. Only half the classroom will be ready to vote in the next elections. However, the children are up to date about the news and their representatives.
The president of Romania is Traian Băsescu. He represents Romania on official visits. He helped Romania enter the European Union.
I heard on the news that there has not been enough investment in tourism. Therefore, a lot of land and hotels have been sold to foreign investors.
Data from the joint EU Council of Europe report shows that interest in politics and concern about social policy among young Romanians is a reaction to the country's communist past, a period that these youngsters have learned about through their parents.
My parents had access to information on the TV for only 2 hours a day, and during that period there were frequent power cuts. They were allowed to watch only 5 minutes of cartoons a day. I don't think they had a happy childhood.
They're focused on developing capacities that will help them gain jobs, even at 16 years of age. They're interested in the voluntary sector. They're interested in after-school activities like the organisation of cultural events, project management, because we live in a changing world.
Cum ar fi organizare de evenimente, cum ar fi management de proiect. Poate și pentru că evoluăm foarte rapid.
The research carried out by the Council of Europe was based on figures from 1999. This will be followed by a new study in 2009 to analyse the changes in attitude of new European citizens, their values and the kind of Europe they want to see. Going from east to west, the situation changes markedly. In Sweden, research on citizenship shows that young people are less interested in politics because democracy is a less recent phenomenon and it's taken for granted. But they're more concerned about social issues. Anton Abel's a 16-year-old young activist and debater who committed himself to work against street violence after the death of his friend, who was beaten to death at a party in the centre of Stockholm in October 2007. As Anton's very interested in IT, the platform for his anti-violence campaign was naturally the internet. When he realised the response to his call against violence was huge, he organised peaceful demonstrations. 10,000 people came.
We've already lost a life, and that's too much. And the goal of the association Stop Street Violence that we started after the demonstrations on the 12th of October 2007 is that if we can manage to save one life, we have succeeded with our task. And this is what I'm hoping to do. An adult can come and explain to you that you should do this and you shouldn't do that. I think it gives a different effect when a youngster talks to another youngster.
According to a study made by Stockholm's South Emergency Ward, published this July, the violence has turned rougher. The number of victims of kicking has increased from 7% in 1998 to 45% in 2005, the study says. One explanation is gang violence. The Council of Europe has a long experience of studying and promoting citizenship. The oldest European institution started some programs in 1996.
The emphasis now is much more on active citizenship, about not just having a passport or a document that says you're a citizen, but about giving you the knowledge, the understanding and skills to say you have a voice. You can actually get things done and you can change things in your community. So in a school, it could be formally having a school council where young people have a say, but also recognising that you can discuss and debate things in your classroom.
Anton Abel is a student at the French high school in Stockholm. Today he's taking the opportunity to debate about violence in the street with his schoolmates.
Storartat arbete, vad säger du? Men det är ju bara hans mått, alltså hur lång han är. Jag tror inte att det kanske var mindre våld förr, men jag tror att då kanske man försökte dölja det mer.
I don't think that there was less violence before, but then one tried to hide it. It was shameful. One didn't want to show it. Today it's getting more attention, more exposure, which is good. And to reduce it, I think that attention is good. You can see the consequences of it, like after what Anton did. When you know what it can lead to, you want to stop it. You don't want this.
Det som Anton har gjort, så att man vet vad det kan bli för konsekvenser och vill stoppa och inte vill att det ska finnas.
Anton Abel has received various awards for his activism, such as the MTV Peace Award last November, and two major Swedish newspapers independently awarded Abel the Stockholmer of the Year 2007 prize. It's a sign that a new generation will soon be active in deciding Europe's future.